So, good evening, friends. Welcome to
Good evening.
Chhayankan 7th photography webinar. Just let me share the screen. I think the screen is visible to all.
Oh, definitely.
So,
Yes, sir.
the topic is Pe Charcha, Nuances of Photography as an Art. And our speaker is Mr. Satish H from Bangalore, DCNA, and is the president of Youth Photographic Society, YPS. Few of the pics which I have picked up from his collection shows the different genres of photography in this particular poster. So before I start introducing him, there are a few of the formalities of Chhayankan I'll like to take up. The first thing, the announcements. One is that our workshop, Varanasi workshop, is full. Dev Deepavali workshop, and all good number of people are excited to be here on Dev Deepavali. A lot of preparations in Varanasi going on. Weather is pleasant, and I'm sure it's going to be because Yogi government is taking good care, and he had been visiting. He's visiting frequently. Even Modi ji is coming by the end of this month, and a lot of new developments will happen in Varanasi by that time. So I'm sure that Dev Deepavali is going to be a great show for all the people who have registered for it. Now, Araku workshop is also quite a good number of people have joined. We still have some seats in that. And there are some added attraction to that workshop after discussing. So I will request our Vijay sir to speak a bit on the Araku workshop and about the added attractions. Sir.
Good evening, everybody. Wish you all a very, very happy Dasara, upcoming Dasara. And friends, regarding the Araku workshop, many of you must be knowing that Araku is the breeding ground for honors. In Andhra, more than 90% of all the honors acquired by Andhra photographers are from Araku area. So anybody who wants a honor in Andhra, they straight away come to Araku, stay there for 3-4 days, make a portfolio, go back and get the honors. So this year also means the season or the dates what we have selected, that is the best time for Araku, because the entire valley is covered with Niger seed yellow golden flower, and we get excellent landscapes. And the weather is extremely nice in December, very, very pleasant. And we get beautiful fog in the morning, golden light or soft light throughout the day. People are in festive mood after harvesting. And these yellow flowers, it adds a lot of beauty to Araku. And this is the right time. After second week of November and first week of December is the best time for Araku. A lot of even film shooting people, they flock to Araku during this time. And what added attraction Mr. Amitabh was telling, that we have we were discussing today that few people are inquiring about a indoor glamour workshop. So we are planning to add a fine art glamour workshop, means immediately after the workshop, that means second, third, fourth, fifth is our workshop. Sixth, we are planning to have a glamour workshop in Visakhapatnam after returning to Visakhapatnam. So people who have not purchased their tickets yet and wants to join, because in glamour workshop means fine art glamour, we cannot take more than 5 people. So we will admit only 5 people on first come first serve basis. So whoever is interested can give us their name. That's all to Araku workshop, and details you must have already received the total itinerary and details about our workshop from our brochure. In case anybody has not received our brochure, they can always either ask me, we will send you, or they can ask Mr. Amitabh ji, they can contact him, we will send you the brochure by WhatsApp. You have his number, Mr. Here means we have our contact details in this poster. You can see that Amitabh ji's number is there, his email ID is there. So you can send him a hi and you want the details and he will send it to you. Thank you very much.
So there is one more question, like we will be having glamour workshop for 10 people or 5 people?
Glamour workshop cannot be done for 10 people. It will be for 5 people only.
No, sir. Fine art glamour on 7th or both the workshops are on 6th only?
Name both. If we are doing a studio portraiture workshop, then we can take 10 people.
Okay.
But if we are doing fine art glamour, it has to be 5 people only.
Okay, so we are planning only for fine art glamour.
Tomorrow we will discuss and inform the details.
Okay, so fine art glamour will include figure studies and everything, sir?
Yes, that is fine art glamour.
And is it necessary for someone to join Araku workshop and then along with that fine art, or someone wants to come only for fine arts can come also?
It has nothing to do with Araku workshop. If anybody is coming for Araku workshop,
because coming from such far off and doing both the workshop will be more of an advantage.
Yes. Okay. Otherwise, if they want to come only for this also, they can come.
Subject to availability of seats, sir.
Subject, yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for giving full details about the workshop. I would just request you, sir, while I'm introducing today's guest, Satish Ji, kindly just admit the...
I'm doing that. Yes.
Because people are constantly joining, so please.
Yeah, I will take care.
Yes, sir. So now, friends, the time to know more about Satish Ji. I know that many of you know him well, but in North, in Hindi, there is a saying, "Diya tale andhera," darkness within the under the lamp. So the people who are close, they know less. The people who are not close, they may be knowing more about him. So time that let's know more about it. What made Satish such a great personality, such a great profile? So this small introduction is for him. So basically, one thing is important. If anything comes in as a game or a play in our early stage of life, it's very fun. It's absolutely a fun, excitement, and we enjoy and we do a lot of things. For Satish, the playing with art was a game. He was playing with it. So that not only helped him to develop into a great photographer, but create some extraordinary work also. He also loved nature and he portrayed nature in the finest detail, and the capture of various human emotion in all its glory is what distinguishes him. The urge to play is but natural to any child, but to play with light at the age of 12 is definitely it's Satish only, no one else. I haven't heard of anyone. So is this gift of nature that made Satish to take up cinematography in his education, in his academic stint, and he earned the title of D. Cine. It was during his graduation that he started to capture nature in all, and with the time he was appreciated for his photo works with lot of awards, honors, distinction, and lot of other achievements with that. A big list in front of you. So ARPS, EFIAP, MFIAP, MICS, CMAL, Honorary Youth YPS, Honorary Fellow East Calcutta Photographic Association, Honorary Fellowship from Image Colleague Society, Grand Progress Award, GPA, Honorary Fellowship from Sigma Art Academy, Honorary CPA from Gambina, Romania, Honorary Fellowship from Lensman Arts Kolkata, Honorary Fellowship from Photographic Society of Pune, Honorary Grand Master from Tri-City Photo Artists Society, Chandigarh, Honorary Associate from Dhanbad Camera Club. And I'm sure that it's not an exhaustive and comprehensive. There may be more once the page was over, so he stopped writing probably. So moving forward, it must be noted that the first he is the first Indian to be honored with EFIP and MFIP in nature color prints and youngest Indian to get MFIP. He is the first Indian to get 2 masters from World Bodies of Photography in nature photography. Apart from the above honors that have been conferred on him, it is but apparent that his competition, his participation in competitions garnering up to 975 and odd awards, among which gold medals in China, Scotland, Finland, California, Romania, and France are seen. Over 2,000 pictures have been exhibited in numerous national and international salons. The other notable nuggets about his precious awards are he has been invited as judge in many national and international photography salons. He has judged 32 international and 46 salons. He was one of the jury members. Probably when he wrote this, when he provided this information to us, by now many more numbers would have been added to this. Many of his pictures have been published in international magazines, national and international magazines. A list of the same is printed here. Satish has been conducting nature and wildlife photography. He has so far organized 14 workshops in wildlife in jungles of Bandhavgarh, Kanha, Satal, Munisiyari, Bandipur, and Ranthambore National Parks. He has done assignments for Karnataka Tourism, Indian Coffee Board, NALCO, RISA, many government assignments. Besides all this, he trains amateurs by giving them classes in basic photography and teaches photography in workshops conducted on locations in the forest, and over 6,000 have gained knowledge. He served as Secretary and Vice President of YPS, which is the #1 photography club of India, for 40 years. He is the member of the club and currently is the president of YPS. The Karnataka Lalit Kala Academy has given him the title. He has been an extremely popular judge in national and international salons. Known for his perfection in judging, he has been given many talks on all genres of photography, and during the last pandemic, 1 year, he's delivered 23 talks across India on various topics. He became the president of India's #1 YPS in 2000 and made a very prestigious photographic institution. The club has seen magnanimous development under his leadership. The salon procedures and many other things all are on display in the screen. Mr. Satish is Karnataka state artist, an award given for his achievements in the field of photography. Sorry, I've been fast in reading because he did not allow me. He said, don't go beyond 5 minutes. I'm sure I've taken more. But thank you, Satish. I'm really happy to present you to the audience. The stage is all yours now. Please carry forward. I'm just stopping. I'm sharing. Stop sharing. Please carry forward.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome you once again. Welcome all the delegates once again to this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Amitabh ji. And it's a great pleasure to be with all of you, with all the photo lovers of India, particularly a lot of my friends. I can see a lot of my friends here today evening, Mr. Sushanta Burman from Kolkata, Mr. Vimal Parmar from Mumbai, and Mr. Trish Kapoor from Kausani, Vijay Agarwal from Visakhapatnam, and my friends joining from Bangalore also. It's a great evening today. Chai Pe Charcha hona chahiye. So we had a chai already, and thank you so much. And I'm still keeping my cup here. So in fact, I have been quite busy from past 2 years in this pandemic, giving webinars on various topics of photography all across India, and many clubs that have started this excellent program called webinars, calling people all across the globe, and that is how we could connect with each other so nicely and get to know about each other field of photography. So today I'll straight away go to my topic today. Can I share the screen, sir?
Yes, sir, please.
Can you see? the screen? Can you see the screen, sir?
Yes, the screen is visible. You can go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. So today I'm talking about various genres of photography where we have to take photography as an art form, because there are two things. One is photography as an art, another is photography as commercial aspect. In commercial photography, people or the client will be looking at pictures where the importance is given for his product, whether it is architectural photography where architects give you assignment to shoot, or industrial photography or product shoots or hospitals. Those people, they are interested to see their own products in a beautiful way, in a very good, all the things should be visible and in properly lit, things like that. Presentation should be perfect. Whereas in photography as an art, we look in the form of play of light and shadows, the various pictorial aspects of lighting, the composition, treatment of subject, or placement of subject, or storytelling point, or a good processing, and how we present the picture finally to the audience. So these things are confined to pictorialism and photography as an art. And what are the different various genres of photography? Usually in photographic term, we call genres, but otherwise, generally it is called fields of various fields of photography, like portraiture, wedding, wildlife, architecture, landscape, fashion, still life, street, abstract. These are all very few. There are so many genres of photography there. You can uh, you can implement this pictorialism, or you can show the images as an art form. Now I'll take you on various genres of photography, and let me start with a very simple and very common field of photography, is outdoor. That is travel pictures. Whenever you're going for on travel to various places, you come across so many things. So one such thing is either sunset or sunrise, where everybody loves that. So in my talk today, I will not be explaining too much about the photographic techniques or the composition or things like that, but I'm going to talk about the various genres of photography, and why we have to do photography and get inclined towards various fields of photography. There are so many people who are confined only to certain kind of field of photography, like fashion photography. Some people who are into fashion photography, they don't like landscape, they don't like architecture, they don't like wedding and commercials. They are confined only to fashion. Whereas when you go to a landscape photographer, he doesn't like wildlife, he doesn't like architecture, he doesn't like wedding and commercial. So like this, you have got so many other photographers also who are experts in their own field, and they are not interested in any other field other than which interests them. But for me, as an art photographer, I will not be, I do not like to call myself as a wildlife or landscape photographer, which is my main interest. But I love to shoot all genres of photography, because I want to see that I should have good knowledge about each and every subject. When you are going on travel images, you don't know what kind of subjects you get. Supposing if you are confined only to landscape photography, if you are an expert, suddenly if there is a beautiful lady with a beautiful dress and beautiful background, everything, like in Ladakh, uh, some of the people are so beautiful, and if you get them in front of you, you cannot say I'm a landscape photographer, I don't shoot portraits. So that made me to take up interest in all genres of photography. For example, here you can see the Kambala race. So if I am a photographer, just I'm a photographer, I'll be interested in all genres of photography. So in this kind of situation, you have to get to use your techniques of various techniques of photography, like slow shutter speed or high shutter speed, the panning, and giving the perfect exposure. All these technicalities, it has to be there for all genres of film. It is not just for one or two. Time and again, I keep telling that uh, as you are shooting pictures, you have to change your aperture or shutter speeds or ISOs, all these things immediately depending on the subject that you are shooting. So generally in outdoor shoots, some of the very simple and very common subjects are this kind of leaves when you get. So you have to think twice before you are shooting, because most of the time what we do is just we shoot as it is and think later. That should not be the case. Actually, you have to think twice about the composition, about the lighting, about the placement of the subject, the background, and how much to include in the frame. That is the composition. All these things you have to think, then finally you have to click your button. I've seen many people, they just keep on taking pictures and keep on deleting images, they're not there. And finally, they may settle for one or two pictures. But when they go home and see in the PC, that is in the computer, even that will not be sharp or it may be shake or out of focus, things like that. Why this happens is that they will not think before shooting pictures. So this aspect of photography where you have to take more time while shooting so that you spend less time in front of the computer. Generally, people who are amateurs, they spend very less time while shooting because they just aim and shoot picture, and they spend more time in front of the computer thinking about corrections, thinking about recomposing, thinking about the cropping, things like that. So better you take more time while shooting, compose, get the exposure perfectly so that you can process it in the computer properly. All my images, what you are seeing here, these are all full frame. Supposing if there is a crop, there could be maybe around 5 to 10% crop. And I spend about 2 to 3 minutes hardly in front of the computer processing the image. I don't take more time. More time is required when your pictures are badly exposed or badly composed. So when you are perfectly given the exposure while shooting, when you have perfectly composed the images, then you don't. So these are all the pictures which I shoot outdoors, like people or flowers or sunset or sunrise or things like that. But in each and every frame, you can see how much I have given importance for the lighting, for the composition, and for the background and the colors, which I see it when I'm shooting. I should be able to get the same colors in my final pictures that I am presenting. So that is the presentation, to present the image as you had seen while shooting the picture. So this is very important aspect for any photographers who are venturing out to take pictures of various subjects. So you can see the composition. This is a very tiny flower, and now is the season for taking the pictures of this flower. This grows on the fence area near the forest areas or just out of your cities, wherever you go in the paddy fields or anywhere there is a fence and things like that, natural fence. This flower grows, and this is just about 2 centimeters from the top of the first flower to the end bottom. It is just 2 centimeters to hardly 3 centimeters. So you should use a macro lens for this. So what type of lens you must have, what type of camera you should have for different photography, what type of, whether to use a flash in outdoor or not, all these things, it depends on the individual. So now from outdoor images, let us go to people and portraits. So now you have seen in outdoors what are the different subjects you get. The very common subjects, make the simple subjects, you make it more beautiful. Don't look for very delicate subjects, or don't look for delicate lighting, or just because you want to create different lighting, don't try to make it very hard way to take pictures. Make it very simple and make it more beautiful. That is the mantra of pictorial photography. Supposing when you are want to shoot people or portraits in outdoor or indoors, you can see here she is talking to a vendor and I'm just capturing her mode in the early morning light. And here you can see a vegetable vendor. Even in the bad times, they are so happy. You show that happiness in the face. So these are all taken in outdoors. And this particular girl, I took this picture in Kausani workshop where Mr. Trish Kapoor conducted a workshop. So we went outside and we looked for different people. During the landscape only, I shot these people and portraits. When you are inside in your house during this pandemic, we cannot venture out to outdoors. So that time you can try your photography technique at this kind of images where the combination of mother and child with something like bubbles and things like that. It gives very beautiful pictorial picture. Particularly, you can try at black and white medium also. Actually, don't get confused with the genres and medium. Genres are the fields of photography. The medium is the color medium or the black and white medium. That is different. So in black and white medium also, you can try your processing. And this was taken in a natural window lighting. There is a portrait of Sri Trish Kapoor, one of the very well-known landscape photographer and a very good host at Kausani workshops and fantastic gentleman. If I see his face in this beard, I think Amitabh Bachchan actually resembles Rish Kapoor. So during this workshop, when we did not get good lighting outside, I started taking pictures of those who are there, my friends and other people. So during that time, I shot this. There's a single light from the window light. So like this in portraits, you can do outdoors. This is a pure outdoor portraiture. I was one of the faculty where I did dance in the temple and dancers in Ramappa temple near Warangal. So the Telangana Photography Society, they invited me to be mentor there. So nearly about 400 people, photographers, they had come. And I showed them how to take dancers with the temple and with the natural lighting and all those things. And your own people, you can try portraits at home using flash. The flash is at the back, and with the fan just flipping, or with the hair dryer, you can make the hairs fly, and you can create such kind of compositions with your sisters, brothers, and known people like that. And this portraiture, I had the opportunity of taking this portrait, beautiful portraiture in the studio of Sri Vijay Agarwal in Visakhapatnam. So he arranged me one day this model, and he showed me how to do the lighting for modeling and all. So I'm very thankful to him, and for which I got beautiful images of this model. And this is another picture of the same model at the same shoot. And of course, there was no cat. So I incorporated this cat from another image taken in Bangalore and put it here. And after doing this, I'll talk to this. I'll talk about this composites later on in my show. So after doing this image with the cat, this picture has become very famous. Now, in most of the salons, it is getting a lot of acceptances, and 1 or 2 awards also I got. So this is how you can imagine it. You imagine the pictures in the future, because that stool that is kept blank, the space was very blank. But of course, Vijayji had kept that red color stool for different purpose. But later on, by processing my images, I got different imagination and I did this. And this was shot with Bangalore only in YPS workshop. And this is another genre of photography where portraits are done in outdoor or indoor like that. And the portraits are also can be done in weddings. So you have to be imaginative, creative, and think for something out of the box, even in your commercial shoots. So this is how you can create some candid images and using different kinds of lighting. There is a single light here. I have not used anything except the halogen lamp that is the videographer is holding at the back. That's all. No extraordinary lights or anything. And this was taken in one of the weddings, portrait of a bride. During this muhurtam, they put the rice this thing on the top of the bride, and I shot with the slow shot. So this is another kind of thing. So from the people and portraits, we'll go to still life and glassware and smoke photography, which can be done in your house. So some of the time in this pandemic, many people will be thinking what to do sitting at home. So I don't have portraiture, I don't have studio to do portraits, I don't have a connection with the models or things like that. So if you want to do the another genre of photography is still life. In still life, you can do so many things, and one of them is glassware, another is smoke, and other things which, depending on your imagination, using the utensils in the kitchen, you can do so many things. You can see how beautifully the glasswares are kept, and I have purchased all this for myself to do this photography. I have spent nearly about 8 to 10,000 rupees on these glasses, and I have used both the studio flash as well as regular flash with the bounce. I shot all these images, and I converted into black and white and only with the color. And you can play with processing like that later on. And you should know good lighting. If you have good knowledge of light, where to place the light and what effect you get and what kind of background is suitable for this. All these things, if you have knowledge, it is much better. And the thickness of the glass, it gives different colors because of the refractions. The thickness, if the thickness is very thin, the glasses are very thin, the reflection quality will be very good. If the thickness is quite thick, then it is subdued. There won't be much reflections, but you don't get proper colors. So this also is a knowledge you get while you are shooting. And depending on the different backgrounds that you use, maybe full sheet background or half sheet background, black and white background or color back, all these things, you can play with it. Once you start this glassware photography, you will get hooked to it, I'm sure. And you will go mad doing it for continuously about 4 days, 5 days. I have shot all these pictures almost for about 10 days. And each day about only 3 or 4 compositions with the different lightings, with the reflection, things like that. So it all depends on individual taste, how to go about it and what colors to use and all those things. And finally, I'm sure that you are going to do good processing. So here I wanted to emphasize on the reflection of the various papers that is kept apart from the compositional frame. You have to keep these colors away from that, which those colors will be reflected onto the glasses. But how to control this lighting is quite difficult. You should give more importance for various lights falling on this colored cardboards, and get this same thing what you saw while shooting. You have to get it in the final image. Sometimes you'll get beautiful color tones on the glass without your imagination. I never expected this. Right hand side, two glasses are there, wine glasses. On that, you have got beautiful colors. I never imagined I get like that. By placing this light at particular angle, I got that. It's not that always, if you ask me to redo this, I may not get this particular shape. I may get different colors. So it's like that. Then and there you have to do uh, this lighting and compositions. And then it all depends on the imagination and the colors that you choose, all those things. And you get ready-made papers like this. The background what I have used here is a ready-made paper. It's a huge sheet of cardboard sheet. It's about 20 inches by 30 inches. You place at the back, and on the table you place this wine glasses, and you can fill the water, or without the water also you can do. The advantage of filling the water is that whatever it is there in the background, it will get reflected in a reverse direction. And in case if there is a colored backgrounds, it will be in the opposite direction because of the glass refraction. Whatever you place on the right, it will be reflected onto left hand side. The left hand side color will be on the right hand side because of the glasses. And sometimes you get more creative, and you can become more imaginative with the various workflow, and you can make all this kind of images. And in still life also, if you are bored with glasswares, you try with still life here. And I use the feathers just putting from the top, and while it is just before the landing, I'll just take pictures. And I have used only one flash here from the right hand side. And apart from this still life, you can also put some cooking oil in the water, and you can see how the transformation happens in the water. This is just like a celestial positions. So you can see various planets kind of shapes here, from the Jupiter to the Saturn to the Earth or the Mars or Venus, whatever you can call it. And the lighting is from the bottom of the bowl, and you can change that lighting also, the direction of the light from left to right, right to left, or top and bottom, things like that. So when you are bored with this also, you can try smoke. For smoke photography, you have to use dhoop, or sometimes you can use agarbattis also. In agarbatti, there won't be the twirl of the smoke will not be there much because it goes just to the top. Whereas in dhoop, the smokes will take shapes. It turns internally and gives a beautiful shape. That is how the lot of formations it happens. So that is how we can make smoke photography better using dhoopam sticks. And now we go to the next genre of photography called architecture and monuments. Architecture is nothing but the modern architecture, or you may call even the forts and palaces as the beautiful heritage architectures. And the monuments, which there is no dearth in finding monuments in India, because India is famous for so many historical monuments throughout India. In every state you find. So how you take these monuments, in what kind of lighting, in what kind of weather conditions, it all depends on your individual taste. Here you can see the architecture of Dubai, the vertical city skyscrapers. Here I was taking this city skyline during the blue hour, that is between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. You get a very beautiful blue hues of color temperatures. So I wanted to take that, but while the sun rises, I saw the golden light, the first golden light hitting on this glass panels of this beautiful skyscrapers. So I shot this picture. So that is how being at the right time at the right place, it gives the best of the images. And this was taken in the afternoon at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Again, it is the middle of the Dubai city. It is one of the very famous uh, main road in Dubai. And how you can make it more dramatic or more contrasty, that you can do it in black and white. And of course, there is one of the world famous architecture called Vidhan Sauda. Uh, this is in Bangalore, and this was built by Kengal Hanumanthaya, the then minister. And the flowers that you see it here is the Tabubia avalande, which blooms in the last week of January, and till the last week of February, it will be in full bloom. In fact, we have got thousands and thousands of these trees throughout Bangalore. And during this February month, the whole city turns into yellow color because of these beautiful trees. When you go to Lotus Mahal in New Delhi, you can do wonderful photography of architecture, the close-up of various forms of this Lotus temple, and you get to see them in different lighting conditions, different shapes, and different light and shadows. The play of light and shadows is most important in our photography, particularly if you are into black and white photography. The play of light and shadow is very, very apt, and you should bring the different tones of the white, the black, and 150 different shades of gray in your picture. So that is the beauty of black and white, and the technique that you use to process this, it is all left to you how you do it. And in all my pictures, you can see I'm giving more importance to the light, the quality of light, whether it is side light or the back light or the top light or whatever. But I stand in such a position to take the picture to see that I get the pictorial light. So one side is lit, one side is dark with the shadows and the composition, all these things. So in every genre of photography, this is very important. The placement of subject and the lighting condition. And in monuments, when you talk about monuments, the composition is, you should look for some different composition, which not many people have done. So if you get this kind of different compositions, your picture will stand out compared to your other friends' pictures or generally what you had already seen. So it will stand out better than those images. And this is the late in the evening, Bhutanatha temple in Badami, North Karnataka. And we have this Badami tank down below. And one of the beautiful temples built by Chalukyas. You can see the Bhutanatha temple at the foreground. And late in the evening, the whole landscape will be lit with the golden light because the sunset is just behind us when we are shooting. So you'll get beautiful light here. And during evening time, the local village people, this is in a village called Badami. And the local village people, they come and sit here for chit chat, and you can include them also in the picture. And when you go for different temples and monuments, look for this kind of compositions. This is just to fill the gap in the sky. I placed it that bell. So that is how you can improve your composition. Otherwise, it becomes a drab. Whatever others, you might have seen thousands of images otherwise. So just to be on in the different line, you can do different compositions. And this is also, this was taken in, of course, this is also Pattatkal, and this is also Pattatkal, which is very famous for architecture or temple photography. These temples are the World Heritage temples. I think very similar to Hampi. You must also come to this Badami, Pattatkal, Aihole. There's a triangle of three villages just within 15 kilometers each, Badami and Aihole and Pattatkal. You have got fantastic, very old temples where you can take pictures. This is a temple called Belur Temple, Chanakeshwara Temple in Belur. And the Hoysalas, they built this temple almost about 800 years back. And you can see the sculptures that is sculpted with the soapstone is world famous. In fact, many people they visit Hampi, but you must also visit this Belur and Halebeedu to get the culture and tradition what the Indians are famous for. You can really feel how our old kings and other people they have give importance to our tradition and cultures. And by looking at these temples, you will come to know about that. And in this genre of photography of monuments and temples, the sculptures are also very important. And this I shot with f4 so that I wanted to make the background out of focus. So I gave more importance to the right side sculpture. So like this, you can play with your apertures and everything. And this is the Shilabalika sculpture, one of the most beautiful uh, Shilabalikas in Belur temple. In fact, when you go to this temple, you will come to know about the woman, the qualities or the anatomy of the woman, how she should be. So, how much should be the forehead? What is the length of the nose? How our eyes should be? And the body anatomy, how perfect it has to be. All this has been defined by the sculpture in these temples. So this is worth going here, and particularly since these sculptures are in soapstone, that is a black soapstone, it is always better to convert them into black and white. You will get more dramatic images because of the contrast of highlights and shadows. You will get very good contrast in this. And I think Mr. Amitabh ji can organize a workshop here, in particularly in Belur, Halebeedu, and Hampi and all. These are all fantastic areas. Now I take you and show you a few images of Hampi. And each genres of photography, I can show about 2,000, 3,000 images. So these are all very few selected just for this show. So where I'm showing only 5 or 6 pictures on each places, just to make, because of the shortage of time. Though Mr. Amitabh ji has given me 2 hours, but still I have to maintain my time. This is to show the ruins of Hampi and the old charm of the village where they used to have this kind of vehicles. Now these bullock cars or anything is not there. Nobody is allowed to come inside the corridor. We have to go in the government battery operated cars to visit this temple. So things have changed. And this is the Virupaksha temple, where throughout the day you can shoot pictures around this temple, because this is facing east and west, and you can stand between north and south, and you can take a lot of different lighting images. And this is a Vijay Vitala temple taken from helicopter, and you can see the vast expanse of the landscape with the boulders and rock formations and things like that. And this Vijay Vitala temple is very famous for uh, uh, the musical pillars, as well as there is a beautiful this thing also. This center part is the stone chariot. The stone chariot is very famous in this particular temple, and you can see the Tungabhadra river flowing at the back of the temple. This is another angle from the helicopter. This was shot at around 10 o'clock in the morning. And during the evening or the morning times, the time is for shooting boulders or the rock formations. And throughout this area, it is full of boulders and rocks. And from this Hampi, just about 15 kilometers, you have got Anjanadri Hill, where Lord Hanumanta was born. So the whole area is predominantly it is confined to our Ramayana time. Uh, Rama Sita had come, and they met Hanumanta here. Hanumanta's the, that is why we have this Jambuanta also here. That Jambuanta is nothing but the slope there. So there is a slot bear sanctuary just close to Hampi, about 20 kilometers. If you want to do very good slot bear photography, you can come there. And this is the first light falling on the Vijayavitala temple. In the middle of this temple, you can see the stone chariot. And when you go in the early morning, if you are the first visitor, you don't get any disturbances. After that, you'll get a lot of people thronging there and disturbing you, coming in the frame, things like that. And here, the tower has fallen down, and all these temples are in ruins actually. At the edge of the frame on the left hand side, middle portion where I'm just putting my cursor, you can see the musical pillar. In fact, in those time during the Vijayanagara kings, these stones, probably it is hollow inside. It gives different musical tones, musical notes. Sarigama, Padanisa, you can hear by just tapping on the stone. So since Indians are known to uh, destroy the beautiful things, particularly the tourists, so that is why all these pillars have been broken because of the tourists trying their musical notes on these pillars. So now the government has stopped and nobody is allowed to touch all these things. So early in the morning or late in the evening, all these temples are beautiful and you can have a wonderful time here. So here you can see the local people in their attires, the beautiful attires called Lamani woman sitting on a rock watching the sunset. This place is called the Sunset Point, where you get the beautiful sunset you can see here, and a lot of pictorial images are taken here. And Hampi is also known for boulders, as I said. I'm very much interested in this genre of photography. Please mind, is also another genre of photography where rocks and rock formation is itself is a subject. So the lighting falling on these rocks, the shapes, all these things, it gives beauty to the picture. And you can make a portfolio on this particular subject itself. And you don't have any this thing at all. You can thousands and thousands of rock formations here. But the thing is, you have to go on by walk or by cycle throughout the Hampi, and it takes nearly about 10 to 12 days to really get good images. And if you are there for 3 to 4 days, hardly you can visit few temples and take pictures, because each one of them has got its own beauty, and it takes more time to visit each places. Now I show the other genre of photography is sports, where a lot of people they can venture into this kind of sports. There's cycling. At the background, you can see the beautiful Savandarga hills. This is about 35 kilometers from Bangalore. This is the backwaters of Arkavati River. And this is the sports genre where you can take a lot of beautiful high-speed images. You have to use the high shutter speeds to capture the motion, arrest the motion, and sometimes you can pan and take this panning, give the panning effect also. You can see this is uh, one of the sports where it is meant only for the handicapped people. This is also called as Para Olympics, that was held in Bangalore nearly about 10, 12 years back. And that time I had opportunity of just going there and taking pictures of this kind of sports people. Here you can see the boy who doesn't have both the legs, and you can see his legs are kept perpendicular to him, and still you see his face, the expression. He is so happy in his life, so he is not worried. And this sports photography, particularly the Paralympics, it has opened my eyes to look at the people who are so happy in their life. And you can see here the winner. He was actually the winner in one of the events. and it doesn't have both the legs. And this is the metallic blade shoes, what they call. And each shoes, it costs nearly about 12 to 15,000 rupees. And these are made specially for this Paralympics or this kind of sports field. And everywhere, as I said, the lighting plays an important role. The storytelling in the picture is all important in everything, not in all genres of photography. So that is one important thing that you have to observe in these pictures: the composition and uh, when to take slow shutter speed, when to take high shutter speed, what to include and what not to include. All these things. Here you can see the street photography. Now I'll come to street photography, the other genre of photography where you can do a lot of beautiful images. And this graffiti that is painted on the walls of different cities. This is in Bangalore. You can see the eyes on the right hand side that is watching the people coming on this road. Okay, that is the imagination of a photographer. You can see the eyes are watching our eyes, the watching the girl, or if you get different subject, you can say so many things on that. This I was taking with a handheld. I did not use a tripod because this street, the gully, what we call, is very, very narrow, just about 8 feet or something. So very narrow lane where I cannot put my tripod. If I had put my tripod, some vehicle would have run over it. So it's like that. So in that graffiti or in the street, how what are the things that you can do? So you have to be there for a long time, wait for the people to come at that moment, and you can take the picture. And this was recently awarded in Bosnia in one of the international salons where I sent this for street photography section. And fortunately, I got the leg position of this right hand side graffiti. You can see the same thing on this man also. So, and while I was shooting only this thing graffiti, I observed this person is coming from far. Then I composed my whole frame and I was waiting for that person to enter. As soon as he entered, I shot about 6, 7 pictures. So one of the picture, the leg position and the placement of the subject was perfectly composed. So I got my image. So this is another this thing where I have included the people as the silhouette because the brightness is on the painting in the street. Light and shadows plays important role here. This is another street image. Recently, I shot this in Bijapur about 20 days back. You can see this is one of the film posters, but the torn part where there is, it looks like a female face of the female with this plantain, this thing here on the right hand side, and it gives a different impression in the street photography. And the play of colors and how much you can include and how much you can show it to make it very pleasant in the picture. And here also you can show the people. And by looking at this picture, you will definitely come to know that it was taken in high altitudes, particularly in Himalayas, things like that. So in street photography or in this thing, it also is important to show the environment so that it gives a good idea. It tells a story about the picture. The monks with their colorful attires, the flags flying, and the beautiful Kanchenjunga mountain ranges at the back. This was taken in South Sikkim. When it comes to Holi, as all of you know, the Holi is a very colorful festival. But here I have made it more artistic because of slow shutter speed. The colors are flying in the air, and the ladies, they are down below in the foreground. They are covering their faces with the saris just to avoid the color falling on their faces. And here you can see the youngsters. Here, all the old timers sitting here, covering the faces. They want to avoid. But whereas here, the youngsters, they want to play with the colors. They want they are enjoying the colors. So this is the contrast of two generations. So that is how we can show tell the story about this Holi and the placement of subjects, the playing, the uh, colors flying in the air, the light and shadows. I have shot this particularly to get this backlight effect. And in the street, when you're going in street, you have to watch for so many things about the colors, about the composition, about what to take and things like that. This is a daily life, a daily chorus in Jodhpur, in the old city of Jodhpur, what we call as Blue City. And here you can see on the streets of Darjeeling, you find this railway engines. This is a World Heritage railway, Darjeeling Himalayan Railway. The loco drivers, they are just getting heated up because of the very cold weather, and even the engines are being heated up. And this is one of the just a street shot. This was taken at around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the existing light. Whatever they had, the light, I just shot with the handheld, no tripod, nothing. So dance forms are another genres of photography where you can take beautiful images, particularly outdoors as well as indoors. So I love to take dance images on the outdoors because we have got better control on the lighting. And in indoors, we don't have control in the lighting because of the stage people, uh, they will be operating the lights. We don't have control. Here in Ramappa temple in Warangal, you can see the whole temple is being covered and the beautiful dancer in the middle of the dance mandap. And here in the sanctum sanctorum of the temple, I have placed the dancer. You can see the beautiful sculptures, the deity, Lord Shiva at the back, watching the dancer. And this is a World Heritage Temple. Just about 8 months or 10 months back, this got the tag of World Heritage. And when we were shooting these images, the temple authority, they told us that this is the first time in the history of the temple a dancer is dancing in that dance mandap and in front of the Shiva. So we were fortunate to get the chance to take this kind of images. So when you are shooting the dancer with the thing, we have to use the properties that is found around. So I used this sculptures, the pillar, the sculpted pillar, beautiful sculptures are there, very intricate sculptures. And at the back also you can see one of the Shiva Parvati sculpture is at the foreground. So I included all this to give the feeling that she is a temple dancer. You can see the beautiful posture of the dancer. The advantage of calling or photographing the professional models is that they know how to pose, they know how to turn, they know how to smile. If they are amateurs, I think Vijay Agarwal will agree with me. If they are amateurs, you have to train them. That is a difficult task of a photographer. So by the time you train them, there won't be any time left. So if you call professional models, you'll get beautiful poses and smile, and they know how to pose for the photographer. Here I use a 24 mm wide angle, and the perspective is entirely different. And I shot with f4 for this, just to get the sharpness only on the dancer. And again, this was taken with 24-120 with 24 mm at f4. So many of the times, just to get different effects, we use the different apertures. It is not mandatory that always you must stick on to f8 or f11 or use f16 to get a lot of depth. Why you need depth or why you don't need depth, it all depends on the individual taste. So when it comes to dance program inside the auditorium, as I said, we don't have any control over the lighting. So whatever the lighting that exists, we have to make use of it. But our technique is to use the slow shutter speed or the high shutter speed, or when to click the picture. And if you are continuously watching the dance performances, then you will know when to click. But if you are a novice and first timer, if you don't know that, if you don't have the idea of the dance, then you keep on clicking some 2000, 3000 images, then finally end up with shake pictures. So it's always better if you want to stick on to this genre of photography where you want to do dance photography, better attend lot of events, the dance events, so that you will have an idea about the lighting, uh, the placement of the people in the dance forms, all those things, and when to click is very important. So here also you can see the performance of dancers. I have included the lights specifically to uh, get some ambience, just to get the feeling of a theater, dance theater. So only for that I have used that. And now I will come to composites and montage. So now all this time we have shot images, original images, and we have processed as and how we have seen. But now I am showing images where you can use two, three pictures, different pictures taken at different times, different place, different lighting conditions, or whatever. Using two, three images, or five, six images, or 10, 15 images, you can do these montages and make a picture. So this is another kind of technique in photography where using different pictures, we can make one decent good images. As I said, the graffitis in the cities makes very interesting compositions. And I saw this window. It was with the grills. There was nothing, but I had the concept of one thing that I can put some other images and make it more interesting. So I came home and used this image of a monk with the red door. That is the original picture taken uh, in a monastery in Sikkim, and I incorporated here with my techniques, with montages and other things, and I made it look much better. And very similarly, even these ladies, this lady on the right hand side and the left was taken at a different time at the same place in Sikkim. So I just cut and pasted here to make it more interesting and showing it as something very natural. And again, here, this is the arrow coming from the top to the bottom is of the different aeroplane. And the two aeroplanes that's in the middle are entirely different aeroplanes. This picture was originally shot in Aero show in Bangalore. And then I created this in digital darkroom. So these are all called as montages or composites, where you have to take few different frames and use. So here you can see three different birds taken at a different time. This person with the flute, I shot this in Varanasi on the banks of Ganges. This carpet is my house carpet. I shot at the terrace, my home. And the left-hand side tree, what you are seeing, this was shot in Baba Budangiri, one of the landscape photography. And this landscape, the whole landscape with the sky and the foreground, this was shot in Kudremukh National Park. But I had composed this picture, the landscape original, thinking that I may include some images later on and make it a picture. So this you should have had it in mind much before doing all this. So that is most important. That is the imagination of a photographer. And then you have to create the shadows in the computer. Creating shadows is very easy. And the shadow falling on the foreground, that gives the depth in the picture. If there are no shadows, then it may lose, it may give that just cut and paste. So if you include shadows, then it gives more beauty to the picture. So this picture of fire wildfire. It happened in Bandipur National Park about 5 years back. So I shot that picture for environmental thing that because of the conservation and environmental issues. I shot that. That was a wildfire. It happened and I shot about some 30, 40 pictures. Then later on, I took this tiger from the Tadoba National Park. And this tiger actually, last year in Tadoba National Park, when I was taking the close-up of this tiger, I saw that sometimes it was looking that side. So when it looked at that side also, I shot image. So I had this imagination of how this tiger would have seen this forest fire, what it would have thought about his home is being burned by humans. So this idea it gave me, and after coming to Bangalore after so many months, I took this head of this tiger and placed it here so that it gives a storytelling point for this image. And this building, this old ruins was taken in Kuldara in near Jodhpur and Jaisalmer highway. There is a very old ruins of a village called Kuldara. And I had shot this just because of the light and shadows. That's all. So I was just keeping this. Later on, I shot this cloud just above my house recently. Then I had a vulture flying in my image. So I made that vulture, the original picture of the vulture flying as a shadow. I created that as a shadow in the computer, in the Photoshop. Then I placed it in different things. So just to get that effect of the wings that is falling on the wall, I used a tool called warp in Photoshop so that it gives that 3D dimension on the wall. It gives a beautiful shadow. So here you can see the Lotus Mahal, and the reflection is Taj Mahal. Is just a wild imagination how it could have been like this. So I just used this for my creativity purpose. This whole building is called as Shettihalli, is a Rosemary Church in Shettihalli near Hassan, near Bangalore, about 120, 200 kilometers from Bangalore. The shadow that you are seeing of an old woman with a stake, that we created live, making one of our lady member to stand like that. And I used my torch, powerful torch, to light her up, and her shadow falling on this wall. And I wanted to create a very eerie effect of this church, like a haunted church. Actually, it is a haunted church. And throughout night, we shot images with the star trails and the various kinds of images we shot throughout night. It's in ruins and it's a haunted. And I had already taken some bats picture in my wildlife photography, and those bats I just kept it here. The same bird, whatever you are seeing, one bat here, I made it smaller and turned it in a different direction and kept it here. So now it makes a very eerie and a very horror kind of effect here. And this picture I had shot the antlers in backlighting in Tadoba National Park, and the web, the spider web that I had shot in Corbett National Park. So I just placed both of them together here, and I made it like as though the spider web has put up its web on the antlers of a spotted deer. So here you can see Mr. Trish Kapoor will be thrilled to see this, because this Himalayas was taken just in front of his resort, and the beautiful mist. Within the mist, we composed the Himalayas, and later on, after in Bangalore, I shot this aero show, that is a Surya Kirans, one of the most famous aeroplanes of the Indian Army. So that I placed it here, and I wanted to create a shadow on uh, the clouds. So this gave me a good different picture of a different creativity. And as I said earlier, this lady, the model, Mr. Vijay Agrawal, had arranged for her to take some pictures. And this is a red chair. And this cat I had taken in one of the streets in Bangalore, and I had kept it here and placed it and created little shadow here. So some of them are that is another genre of photography where you can be more creative. Now this is another genre of photography where abstracts are taking up a new turn in the field of photography, where many people are giving a lot of attention to this particular genre called abstracts. And in camera abstract you can do, or you can do while shooting directly. So this was low lighting condition. I shot the handled 1/8 of a second or something. And while the exposure is being happening, I just turned the camera to left to right. So I just created one abstract. And this is a direct shot of a roots of a banyan tree. And these are the uh, abstract taken during Diwali, where during the fireworks. So when the rocket it goes up and blasts, then that time if your shutter speed is slow, like 1/30th of a second or 1/15, you get this kind of abstract. And these abstracts are taken in sand dune. And most of these abstracts, it looks much better in black and white. And this is a S curve. This was another direct abstract in sand dunes. And here you can see the abstract happening in one of the on the wood of a lorry, where a lot of moss and fungi has grown, and even the paints have worn out because of the weather condition. So you find a very abstract in all these kind of this thing, lot of colors and withering paints and growing moss and things like that. This is a kind of moss that is growing on a wall in Khas Plateau in the Maharashtra, where continuously there will be rains, and the whole weather will be always with a mist and a very low temperature. So during that time, the lot of moss and fungi grow on the walls. So you can see abstract on the wall. So this gives an impression that this picture has been taken from the drone, and maybe Amazon kind of subject that you can see down below. So you have to imagine. In abstract, imagination is very, very important. And if you get the idea of this kind of abstract, you will find abstract in each and every place. In fact, once you get hook of that abstract photography into your mind, every place you look for this abstracts. That is one big this thing. And here you can see where I shot these abstracts. These are the walls that I went very close up with my macro lens, with 105 mm macro lens, and I shot all this. And during that time when I was just relaxing and looking for it, one cock, it just entered the frame, and it gave a beautiful composition in that frame. This was shot around late in the evening at around 6:15. I used 3200 ISO for this picture. And there is another abstract on the compound wall of a temple. And this is the rust. So when the metal is rusted, the iron metal is rusted, and when there is a rain, and because of the rainwaters, the color of the rust colors, it flows down, and after drying, it gives beautiful impression of a painting kind of thing. This is a close-up of a plantain leaf, the old rotten plantain leaf. And there is a fish market where you can find a lot of abstracts. And even on the street, when there was a construction going on, they had kept a net on the road. So I saw the beautiful view of coconut trees with the clouds and all. So I made one abstract on this tree. So now I come to the landscapes. So landscape is one of the favorite genres of photographers. Most of the people who love photography, they love this genre of photography called landscapes. And landscapes is not very easy at all because it's meant only for those who love nature and who want to be outdoors always. And because of that love, they go very early morning, much before the sun rises, and stay in the with the nature until it is dark. So that is the timing you need for landscape photography. And you should have very good idea about what to take and what not to take, and how to compose in landscapes and all those things. And this picture was taken just in front of the Buranch resort in Kausani, Mr. Trish Kapoor's property. And just while we were returning back to Bangalore, we were just boarding the car. When we were just getting into the car, we saw the whole landscape changed. Then I got down from the car, I took my cameras out and spent about half an hour. And we were delayed for our train by half an hour. But doesn't matter. I got the picture. That is most important. So here again in front of the Kausani branch resort, you can see this beautiful mist formation with the beautiful trees. By looking at the trees itself, you will know that it's a high altitude. All these pine trees and other trees, they grow only in this kind of weather conditions. This was taken in Munchiari, where there was a heavy snowfall for the whole week. And this is a high key picture. And I used the background also, the cloudy background, and the foreground is full of snow, and included the tree. And this was shot in Big One. This is Pima backwaters. This is in Munchiari. This is one of my most favored photo and one of the very luckiest pictures that I shot with Anup Shah. And this is the first visit that I made in probably in 2007 or 2008 to Munchiari. So now I gone there almost about 7, 8 times. This is one of my most favorite place, and anybody calling me anytime, I can join them. And this is a potato field, and now you don't see both the house and the tree. So this place has been occupied by the army, and they have cleared all the vegetation here. So in monochrome, in landscape, monochrome is another media where you can show your love for the black and white. So here the understanding of the black and white and the gray tones and how much to maintain the grays and blacks is very important, being a black and white photo artist. And here the play of light, the diagonal composition, and how much to compose is all very important. And for your information, most of my landscape images I do in 300 mm and 400 mm. And this was the shot with 400 mm. The advantage is that the book says that the rules of photography says that you must use wide angle lenses for landscape. So you break the rules once if you have attained one stage, then you can be more creative. So if you use 300 mm and 400 mm, you can compose properly. You don't have to crop later in the computer. You can compose then and there properly, and you can make a picture right on the spot. So again, this was taken in front of Buranch resort in Kausani, and that day it rained like cats and dogs, and we did not see any landscape just in front of us. It was just a blank white sheet. Then after about around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, when the clouds started coming out, and the mist started coming out from the valleys, and actually it was not looking like this at all. In the processing, I developed this and created with the contrast and tones and different grades. I brought it to these levels. Otherwise, it was just a flat image. So if you have an idea while shooting itself, then you can imagine your final picture and create accordingly in your computer. So this was taken in Chaukuri, the first, the landscape of Nanda Devi 1 and 2, early morning shot. And in wildlife also, I shoot a lot of landscapes that I include animals with the trees or with the vegetation or with the landscape, so that it gives a beautiful story about what kind of vegetation that animals they live. We can feel the mist here, the whole mist, and the trees, placement of tree is very, very important. So in this genre of uh, photography, black and white medium plays very important role. Because of black and white, it looks more beautiful. If I had taken this in color, it would not have given so much of drama in the picture. It is because of the black and white. I created this grainy effect in the computer. Uh, Many of the people, they ask why I get a lot of noise in the picture if I go beyond 400 or 800, things like that. You look at my picture, I create noise in the picture just because I love that grainy effect. Because we have done all this when we were shooting in film cameras, we loved it. You ask any pictorial photographers, we were using very high speed. That time we were getting only 400 ASA as a very high speed film. Otherwise, if you want to go for still more 800 or 1000 ASA film, you have to order it from abroad, which was very difficult. So now the same technique we use it in digital also. This gives a beautiful effect. And this place was both this picture and this picture was taken in Varanga. It's a Jain temple which is in the middle of the lake, and this is near Karkala in South Kannada district of Karnataka. And you have to be there in the early morning to get this type of lighting. In fact, this was a flat light. Then I created this contrast using computer, Photoshop. This is a landscape of Mud village in Spiti Valley, and this is the last village in the Pin Parvati Valley. And after this, for another 120 kilometers up to Kasol, you don't have any habitants. You don't find any village, no people, nothing. And we get a very beautiful play of light and shadows because of the cloud pattern. This is, I think, Amitabh ji will recognize this as a bridge in Varanasi. And that day, I just got the sun peeping out of the cloud at around 4 o'clock in the evening. So from the boat, I shot this picture. This golden color, but I liked it in black and white, so I converted it to black and white. This is the first sunlight falling on the peaks of Nanda Devi 1 and 2 in Chaukuri in Uttarakhand. So you have to be much before the sunrises. You have to be at that place 1 hour before, so that you can take a recce around the place where you have to place your tripod and take pictures. And you have to be perfect on your exposures and white balance. Everything should be perfect. And later on, if you are late by 20 minutes, this was taken just after 20 minutes after the first flight, 15 to 20 minutes. So you can see how the lighting has changed or transformed. But still, there is a beautiful shadow in the middle, which gives a very good depth in the picture. And also, two small, tiny clouds also they came into the frame and made my frame complete. So, so landscapes are one of the most favorite for me. I do this wildlife and landscape more than other genres, but uh, whenever I get opportunity, I do all kinds of photography. So here, placement of a subject, I wanted some humans or anything there. since I did not find anything, this dog belonged to the hotel. It was just sitting and watching here and there. So I utilized that opportunity and included the dog. This is one just a village with a touch of red on the roof near Kausani. This is the early morning shot of Himalayas, and you can use this kind of valleys and mist to make it more dramatic in the picture. There is a sunrise shot in Bikwa. There is the same sunrise after some 10-15 minutes and a different tree. There is again Mount Trishul from Kausani. And in landscape photography, it is not just mountains or the hills or anything. So even in the rivers, you can look for this kind of people where people, the fishermen putting the nets in the early morning. This was shot at 7 o'clock in the morning at Papikundalu in near Rajmundry in Andhra Pradesh. So the colors are also important. This is by chance, for my luck, they were coming with this kind of colorful mask there. And the placement of net throwing is also very interesting. So if you continuously take number of shots continuously, so in one of the shots, you will find them in a proper place. So you can use that kind of picture. This is Taj Mahal during mist in the month of December. This was taken from Yamuna River from the back of the Taj Mahal, and I have used a gradient filter, from sepia gradient filter. This is a shot taken with 400 mm landscape of Spiti Valley to show the ruggedness of the mountains. You can see the beautiful diagonal lines that is flowing down the mountains. And in the Spiti again, this was taken late in the evening at around 4 o'clock, 4:30. So by 5 o'clock, the sun will set and there won't be any light. So around 4:30, the dramatic light will fall on the mountains and the shadows created by clouds. So you will get very good dramatic pictures there. This is a peach flower, and backside you can see the Mount Trishul range of mountains. This was taken in the month of probably February. So when the peach flowers will bloom. And now I'll come to the last genre of photography, that is wildlife. So in this genre of photography, wildlife means it consists of everything under the nature, what the mother nature has given us. And it includes animals, birds, and insects. So I'll be showing few of them, all animals, birds, and insects. And this genre of photography requires extra equipment like long telelenses and better quality camera bodies and tripods and all these things. And apart from this, you should make a continuous visit to sanctuaries. And this is a Indian grey jungle wolf. And here also, when you are shooting wildlife, you must keep a watch on animals, and when they are when they are in a beautiful posture, you can see the beautiful anatomy of the wolf, the attitude in the eyes, the position of the ears, the position of the legs, and the light that is coming from the right hand side, and it is creating a shadow. All these factors, it is very, very important in wildlife photography. It is not just aim and shoot. And here also you can see how much I have included the nature. I use 80 to 400 mm and 600 mm prime lens for my wildlife. And here I have shot with the vegetation. Otherwise, I could have used 600 and taken a close up of the wolf. But I want to show the environment or the place where the wolves are found. Here I use 600 mm to get the close up of the wolf. So in different genres, different lenses and different techniques are used. and not always that you have only one lens and do all genres of photography. It is not possible. It is possible, but you will get only the record shots. You won't get the creative art photography you cannot make. If you want to be more creative and more perfect in your approach and your final picture, then you have to use proper equipment. And this was taken in Tadoba National Park, the Maya tigress with the cubs eating sambar kill. And here I used 400 mm to get the whole ambience of the river Ganga, that is a Ram Ganga river flowing in Corbett National Park. And this was taken just before the sunrise. So the red hues in the sky has reflected in the water, and animals are in the silhouette. And here you can see the elephants taking the dust bath. And this is a backlighting and taken with 400 mm or so. So not always that 600 mm useful. In my wildlife photography, I use more of 80 to 400 mm zoom lens than my prime lens. This is a backlighting of mother and calf. There's a naughty, mischievous calf. It did something wrong. So the mother is chasing it away. So during that time, you should be very attentive and give more importance for the composition, the lighting, and the exposure. It should be perfect. Everything should be perfect. And this was taken with 80 mm. So this leopardess, it came very close to my jeep, and I shot with 80 mm. And you can see the side lighting. It has beautifully given the very good depth in the picture because of the light. Most of the time when I am in the sanctuaries, I look for backlight or the side lighting. 90% I avoid front lighting because that won't give any artistic image. It becomes a flat lighting. So I look for either backlight or the side light, and include more of vegetation because I want to make it more pictorial. So the pictorialism that is adopted in all genres of photography is very important as an artist. If you are confined to only one genre of photography, or if you are not a pictorial photographer, then it's okay. Just for record shot or aim and shoot photography, you can take any kind of pictures. But since I am a pictorialist and I started my journey of photography with pictorial photography, still I continue to do and incorporate the same technique of pictorialism in all genres of photography. So it's quite important in wildlife photography, this particular genre, that you must keep observing your subjects. And when I am shooting animals and birds, the first shot I take to see if the lighting condition is good and if my exposures are correct. Then I never see the back of the camera, because when you look, when you spend time to delete your images or look for your pictures, that is when most of the very good things happen in the nature. You can see this position of two flamingos. Maybe you can say kissing each other, or patting each other, create of love or something like that. This you would have missed in case if you had, if you are busy seeing your images in the camera, deleting like that. So particularly in wildlife, you should always concentrate on the actions or things that happens, or storytelling positions. All those things you must be very attentive, and you should never look at your camera, back of your camera, the camera monitor. So only when you have time, when you are going in search of any other subjects, that time you will have a lot of plenty of time available. Then time you can delete your images, or you can just check your images if they are proper or not. This picture was taken with 600 mm, and this is a Montagu's Harrier. This is a backlit image and with action. And here you can see the flamingos in beautiful plumage. The pink colors tells that they are adults. So a pair of flamingos about to take off. just like aeroplane, they take on they go on the runway for a few meters. So very similarly, the flamingos also, they go on the water for a few meters and then they take off. There is a lugger falcon. Because of the 600 prime lens that I use, you can see the background is thrown out of focus. It's very shallow depth of it, and the whole interest will fall on the subject. That is the advantage of prime lenses. This is a storytelling time for this scaly-breasted munia. These are very small birds, just size of our house sparrows, and the center one is the mother, and on the right and left hand side there are subadult birds. There is a red-billed blue magpie taken in Sattal. This has got a beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful birds that we find in jungles, and this was shot with 600 at 7 o'clock in the morning. There is a flame-backed woodpecker. You can see the beautiful golden color of the wings and the red crest. And this is the original colors of the birds. And you must get the same colors even in your processing. So that should be the technique of processing given images. It should depict the truthful colors of the species, whatever you are shooting, whether it's humans or birds or insects or whatever. This is a white-throated flycatcher is looking at its own beauty in the reflection of the water. There's a purple-rumped sunbird. There's a male. They're sitting on one of the beautiful flowers. And in this genre of photography of wildlife, particularly birds and other things, the colors are also very important because the colors are already the birds are very colorful. To make it more colorful, you can just see if they are sitting on some different colorful flowers or different vegetations or things like that. This is a red-crested pochard about to take off. These are migratory birds. They come from Europe and other places. There is a pair of crimson-throated barbet, a very small bird, but very, very colorful. It has got plenty of colors on its body. There's a pair. They are just playing the kind of, just spending time playing. Now I come to the macro, the last portion of my talk. In the genre of wildlife photography, this is one of the fields where the macro photography is one such thing where you have to be very creative, not only in capturing the image, but also creating the image with your selective focus, selective aperture, and the selective position of your flashes. And most of the time, you can do both daylight pictures as well as flashlight. In case if you don't get daylight because of the weather conditions, you can use flashes and create the daylight effect. You can see here the jewel bugs mating on a small fruits. These fruits are just about 2-3 centimeters. That's all. So even in the macro, you have to be very artistic creating because you can use beautiful backlighting, side lighting, and just like in 600 in wildlife, how it throws the background out of focus. Even in macro lens, in 105 macro or 80 90 macro, 200 macro, like that, the background becomes out of focus. And one disadvantage of macro lens is that you have to be very precise in focusing. Even if it is just 2 I'm talking about millimeters. Even if you are 2 or 3 here and there, it goes out of focus. So the focusing has to be on the eye, whether it is in animals or birds or macro subjects. The focusing has to be on the eye. So here I have used 3 flashes because this was taken in the very early morning when the sunlight was not there. So I placed one flash on the right, one flash on the left, and another flash on the camera. So they are all diffused flashes, not direct throw of a flash. Only to highlight from the right side, I don't use diffuser. It says straight flash without any diffuser. But whereas on the camera, I use a diffuser. So there is a separate unit that we get for macro flashes. So I use that diffuser and take images. And here you can see I use 3 flashes here again. This is a link spider with a caterpillar feed. And the perch you can see is beautifully lit with kind of hairs on the perch. It is glowing because of the backlight. This is how you can create pictorialism in macro photography also. It makes more interesting to look at the picture. Otherwise, if you just take in direct sunlight or just one direct flash, it becomes flat lighting. So lighting makes, in all genres of photography, lighting makes your picture. If because of the lighting, you are going to get the best of the picture. Otherwise, if the lighting is flat, the picture becomes flat. It loses its interest. This is another tiny flower that I showed earlier, and the very tiny praying mantis is sitting on this flower bud. And as I said earlier, in macro, even 2 mm, it goes out of focus. You can see the head that this thing is very sharp, whereas the body and the flowers has come out of focus. And the distance between each of them is just about 2 mm or 3 mm. That's all. This is a link spider just molted. Just like snakes, they shed their skin. Even the insects, particularly the spiders or the katydids or the grasshoppers, all those things, they shed their skin. That is what we call as molting. So they have molted and taken a new coloration or new skin like. So you can see the skeleton or the old skin on the top, and it is emerging out of the old skin, shedding its old skin. Now you can see the very bright colors of this link spiders. So this is all these observations in the field is very important. These are all very tiny spiders and small insects that it needs a lot of observation in the bushes, under the plants, under the flowers, all those things. So you must be very attentive in the field. There is a bull ant that is just sucking the or raindrops from the flower. This is called as the bird of paradise flower. There is a garden flower, and this is a bull ant. So I completed most of my genres of photography, and I hope you people enjoyed it. And in case if you have got anything, any questions or doubts or anything, you can ask me. And because of the, as I said, on each genre we can have a webinar. There is no problem. So just wanted to show how you people should not stick on to one kind of photography. And as a photographer, we can do all kinds of photography, provided if you have interest in each genres of photography. So that is how I learned and I have been doing. And I don't want me to tag, I don't want you people to tag me as a wildlife and landscape photographer. I'm a photographer. I do all kinds of photography. So that's it, friends. And thanks for everybody who have joined, and hope you liked it. Thank you so much. And I thank the Chhayankan, particularly Mr. Amitabh Agarwalji and Vijay Agarwalji for giving me this opportunity to showcase my images in front of you. And I thank all my friends all across India who have come and witnessed this evening program. And you made my day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Satish. In fact, we should thank you. आप दशहरा के टाइम ऐसा feast दिए हैं सबके लिए. It was a great feast indeed. Amazing
Thank you, sir.
journey.
Thank you, sir.
लोगों को means they have a wrong notion that you are a wildlife photographer. And
It's not wrong, but I'm more famous in that field of photography. But I love to be called as a photographer because I do all genres of photography.
no, but you have
But
shown your
wildlife, yes, wildlife has given me name and fame.
But today you have shown your expertise in still life, street photography, abstract photography, landscape. कौन सा genre आप छोड़े हैं? मतलब लोगों का एक genre में ही पूरा life बीत जाता है. आपने तो इतने genre cover कर लिए. That is why I told Mr. Amitabh there is one person in the country who can cover every genre is on Mr. Satish only.
My
आपने
pleasure,
even
sir. Thank you, sir.
लोग सोचते हैं कि means jack of all trades or master of none. You have really proved it wrong today. There are some questions. लेकिन एक particular comments means appreciation. Some Susma Lahiri had written means it is perfect for today's presentation. Like
Okay.
गागर में सागर भरना. मतलब
Baba.
आप I don't know whether you understood it or not. Means in a small vessels you have put the entire ocean today, and very correctly said.
But to be frank with you, I'm just a speck of dust in front of the ocean of photography. I'm just learning. Even now, also, I'm not a master. I'm just learning today.
I must say you are very modest saying that. There are some questions. First thing means I will ask a question.
Yeah. Yes.
Like you have taken those pictures in Lotus Temple. I went there also a couple of times, but they don't allow camera inside. How did you manage?
Sir, actually, I think this was taken about 4 years back. So after that, I don't know. Just 4 years back, I shot this picture.
Cameras were allowed that time?
Yeah, cameras were allowed. They were charging some 25 rupees or 50 rupees for the camera, but they were allowed. But I think because of now, because of the pandemic and other things, the rules have changed everywhere throughout India. In fact, they are not allowing in cameras in monuments and temples. Even in Karnataka, they are not allowing cameras in some of the temples.
I had visited before pandemic, and they were not allowing anyway.
Right.
So somebody has asked one Mr. Karthik in the chat box that what type of pictures we should introduce green to add value.
When you think that there is no play of light and shadow too much, or when the picture is slightly flat, then either high key or something, maybe this grain effect, it suits more better for high key pictures than low key pictures. Because in low key pictures, you don't see grains at all. In high key pictures, you can see more of grains. So that is the best way. If you get opportunity, you can use this nice effect in the high key pictures.
Yeah. There were some questions asked during the daytime in our group. Of course, the name is not visible, only a number is visible. While doing wildlife photography in backlight and misty foggy morning, what should be the exposure compensation, metering mode, picture control, and other camera settings?
Okay. Actually, I don't change my white balance. It's always daylight in my camera. So whether I shoot right before the sunrise and after the sunset, everything is just daylight. I don't change my white balance. That is first thing. The second thing is when you want to use compensation, particularly one stop or half stop or whatever, that depends on the background back of the subject. The lighting is falling on the subject. The background will be black or white. So only during that time you have to think about compensation, like how much a half stop you want to decrease or increase, or two stop you want to decrease or something. So supposing just imagine that there is one animal in the front where the sunlight is falling. The background is almost about very dark. Okay. So depending on that darkness, I reduce 1.5 stop to 2 stops, depending on how much darkness I want at the back. This compensation you have to use only when you are using auto exposures, whether it is aperture priority or shutter priority or program or anything. This compensation will not work when you are using manual exposures, because in manual exposure you can yourself can reduce the shutter speed or aperture and keep. So since I am using aperture priority mode every time, so I keep my apertures at f8 or maximum 9.5 usually. After that, I don't go. And sometimes in macro photography, I use f11. So that's it. I don't go beyond that. And I shoot more at f4 and f5.6 because shallow depth of field. I would want to have focus only on the subject, and remaining areas should be out of focus. To create that effect, I open up the aperture. So in 24 to 120 mm zoom, the maximum aperture opening is f4. So I keep at that and shoot pictures. So this techniques, whether compensation in mist photograph, in mist you don't need any compensation, because whatever you get the exposures you have to give. Particularly in case if you want to give exposure, you have to increase the +1 stop or +2 stops, because the mist is white. So when the white is there, the camera will give underexposure on its own. So it makes the picture under. So you have to give the compensation +1 or +1.5, things like that, depending on how much thickness of the mist is there. And the same thing, it happens even in the snow area. When you are shooting the landscape with the snow, the same thing, you have to increase the compensation so that the camera will give proper exposure. And it is the reverse way when there is a black background or things like that. So this depends on individual taste, and on the spot you have to decide and give.
Perfect. You generally shoot in matrix metering?
Yes, sir. I use in matrix. Yes.
But with the present generation, our mirrorless camera, it is another advantage for the photographer. That means they can see the changes in the viewer, means in the monitor itself.
Yes.
Means whether they are changing the exposure compensation or they are changing the white balance, they can see the effect right there. And
correct.
Accordingly, as per their taste, they can take.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So
no, once if you have your camera perfectly done, like even the monitor you should have perfect zero, because most of the people they lessen the contrast or the brightness in the monitor, and they give exposures that may sometimes give wrong exposure, because you may go wrong in judging the lighting. So I always keep it at zero, and everything will be perfect when I shoot.
Another question for silent participation: what should be the basic ingredient for landscape photography? Please elaborate the ideal histogram for a landscape image, and also about the exposure compensation, metering mode, picture control. This you have already said. So about silent participations, means in a silent picture, basically what are the ingredients required?
See, whether it is salon photography or not, the pictures should be perfect in composition, in lighting, and treatment of subject, placement of subject, storytelling. Everything is there in landscape also. So once if the picture is very good, you can participate in salons. There is no separate rules for salons. Whatever the best pictures, it does well in salons. That's all. So you cannot do photography only for the salon. Yeah.
I always say that people are getting obsessed with salon photography.
Yeah. Yesterday, actually, in my talk on pictorialism for Photographic Society of India in Mumbai, I was just highlighting this particular point. Do photography for your own liking, for your happiness. Don't try to please others, and don't try to photograph just because others they like with a side lighting or flash lighting, just to please the judge. You do photography. No, you have to do photography for the passion that you have within yourself and love for the art. Then you will succeed in photography journey.
Very true. Very true. Means people are getting cased in one type of pictures taken throughout the life only to satisfy the judges. They are not trying other things.
Exactly. Correct. Yeah. That should not be the case.
Etc. There is one more last questions. After that, we will open the forum. If anybody wants to ask directly, we will unmute them. So this is on backlight photography. Say sun at slightly above 0° and again the sun is at about 45° position while shooting for portrait photography. Fill light on face is necessary to, does it always necessary to provide that by use of aperture on? A little confusing, but in backlight photography at what angle I think the backlight should come in the 0° or 45°, and what is the fill light you use? I think this is the question.
See, actually, I read this question. What I understood is he is asking in backlighting when you are shooting whether you want to do fill-in light or that fill-in can be done with the aperture or not. That's what I understood.
I have flash or TTL. Yeah, so it's a little confusing, huh?
Yes. So usually in backlighting, whether it is portraiture or macro or birds, whatever, you should get the perfect lighting of the backlight, as well as there should be details on the shadows. So in case if you give exposure for the highlights, the shadows will go dark. So that is the reason why we fill in the shadows by using a reflector or a flash. So usually when you are shooting portraits, it's better always to use the reflectors than flash, because in flash it flattens the face or the body portion. So whereas the reflector, it not only reflects back the light, but also it gives a beautiful depth in the shadows also. It doesn't flatten the image. So instead of flash, I prefer to use reflectors or with a soft cloth or with the reflector cloth itself you get for the professional studios. The same reflector, you can use it outdoors also. That gives very good fill-in shadows.
Yeah. If at all they're using flash, then they should use it off camera to get the depth.
Yeah, always it's off-camera flash is always better for everything. You can place wherever you want, and you can see where the shadows are falling. So there you can feel with. You can control the flash also, lighting in the flash.
You have taken lovely macro photograph with off-camera flash.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and now the questions what was sent is Amitabh ji, if you open the forum, if people want to ask something.
I'll do that, sir. Sir, first two questions were from Abhijit Chatterjee, Kolkata. And am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
The first two questions by Abhijit Chatterjee, Kolkata, and the last backlight photography question was from Subrata Kumar Das, Kolkata.
Okay.
Now, anyone who has a question, I have already opened. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Dhirendra sir, yes.
Sir, I will only appreciate, since as my portrait is concerned, there is no substitute for Agrawal sir. But the only thing this versatile work what Satish sir had given is given a push to we old people. I am in this field, I was teaching also, across the 75 years of the age. But sir, even as you see, a sugar patient can't eat sweet Agrawal sir, but he can go to a big sweet shop and see the different type of sweets and enjoy it and smell it. So that was the thing, the versatile what I enjoyed in your work. No part you have left. You have touched everything, and I really appreciate, sir, and your work, your this passion for the profession, and it is encouragement to the youngsters and the seniors also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I will request all the participants
Well,
also
it was perfect cup of tea.
opinion and feeling in the chat box.
Yeah, beautiful.
Today also, tomorrow also, they can put it in the group, our webinar group. Anybody else?
Rishi is telling
Sir,
something.
we had a very good cup of tea. So thanks a lot. We enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a nice
Thank
tea.
you,
We
sir.
wait for your tea again in Kosani sometime.
Sure, sir. Definitely. Why
Thank you,
not?
sir. Wonderful, wonderful show.
Thank you
Very
so
good.
much.
Thank you.
साहब इसमें तो कम से कम 15% कोसानी के थे images.
Oh yes, he was he's a brand ambassador of Kosani only, sir. And I think it proves that we can get the best landscapes from there.
Absolutely.
Portraits
Yeah.
also.
और सर
Thank you.
अंदरा बार आपका नाम भी ले लिया सर, थीश कपूर साहब, थीश
Thank you,
कपूर
sir.
साहब,
Thank you,
थीश
sir.
कपूर साहब।
Thank you, sir. It's a love. It's a love. I am obliged.
सर
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So if anyone else has to ask question, please come forward.
What is your favorite lens? One Mr. Ahmed Russell is asking.
Whatever I have got, they're all my favorite lens because all these lenses I use it for different purposes and different times. And if you want to say that out of all these four lenses, which is favorite, then I prefer 24 to 120 mm is my favorite because that is the most sought after lens for all my genres of photography. But otherwise, I use 24 to 120, 105 macro, 80 to 400 mm, and 600 mm prime lens, and all Nikon make only. And I feel as a professional, and once I have reached this level, I must use only the originals. Then only I get the best of the quality images. So I believe in that. So that's why I use only original Nikon lenses.
And it is always the optics which gives us the quality, not the body of the camera.
Correct.
It is.
Absolutely. Body, you can have anything, but the lens is very important.
Yes.
So I can see there is no more question coming forward. So should we sum up, sir?
Yes, please.
Actually, Vimal Parmar had something here.
I think he was only giving compliments.
Vimalji?
Vimalji,
He has asked us such beautiful images. Has any of your pictures been misused without your knowledge? If yes, how did you handle the situation? When they have used without my knowledge, how do I come to know about it? So,
so
when
without
they
your
have used
permission,
them,
actually. What
yeah,
you mean is without
absolutely.
your permission.
Yeah, but see, actually, what I believe is that when we are doing photography, it is for the passion that I do. And after taking pictures, what is next? Next is people should love it. As much as I loved my picture, people should love it. And when they love it, it is a property of everybody. They can use it, but not commercially. Like if some commercial establishment they use without payment or without any credit line, that I don't like it. Supposing in any of these friends they are watching here, if they want any of my picture, you can straight away go and use it yourself wherever you want. I don't mind, and that is the reason I don't put my watermark also, that copyright by H. Satish. I don't use it because when the nature or the God has created so many things in nature, he has not put his name that I created this. So who are we to put our names when it is not ours? So this is just a tool that we are using and creating our pictures. And I don't feel that we must use our names, which much bigger people like the sculptors or anybody, or even the mother nature has given so many things to us. Nowhere it mentions that it is a creation of God, but only we know that it's a creation of God. So in that kind of situation, I feel that I should not use for a small things like this.
It's totally generous thinking process.
Very
I
great.
must agree.
Very great.
Not many people think in that line. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Any other questions? So you can sum up, sir.
Thank you, Satish ji. It was, and you are popularly known also as a tusker. So that gives you an image of a wildlife photographer because you love tusker very much.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, very much.
Also a tusker.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was indeed a very, very beautiful session. And I think I can see the number of comments, the kind of comments have come on the chat box. And all have benefited and people stayed till the last. That's something. And it has been eye-opening and definitely a lot of thoughts had gone to every mind. Even in spite of the fact that howsoever senior and experienced photographer they have been. But I'm sure that a lot of new thoughts have gone to every mind with your creative work. And I will definitely pray to Lord Vishnath that you keep creating such a beautiful and wonderful work in all time to come. And
thanks for your wishes.
Varanasi,
Definitely, sir.
with us and keep taking blessings of Vishwanath and doing
Sure,
it.
sir.
Sir, and I will surely come to Bangalore and have spent some time.
Please, sir. Please do come. Yeah.
Thank you very much for presenting so beautifully in such a short time. So much thing. It's so engrossing, and very few. I hardly have any words to speak about. Thank you very much. Same.
Thanks a lot.
I'm grateful and thankful to all the participants of today's webinar who have very, very seriously looked into and shared their comments, and they made the session so interesting for everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vijay sir, for nicely taking up question, nicely introducing. You are a great support to Chhayankan, mentor, guide, and everything for everything in Chhayankan. Without you, we can't think moving ahead in Chhayankan. So thank you very much. Thanks, Srish sir. Srish sir, आज आपका beautiful participation रहा. I can see Vimal Parwar sir, who was there also earlier as one of the faculty for a webinar here with us, and so many people who I know. Thanks everyone, and wish everyone on behalf of Chhayankan, on my personal level, on behalf of Vijay sir, a very, very happy Navaratri, very, very happy Dussehra. Have a wonderful season ahead. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Wish you all a happy Navaratri and Dasara. God bless you all.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Please allow me to close the webinar of today.
Yeah.
Okay, should I?
Yeah. Yeah.